That we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
He almost hit you.
Floyd Mayweather has praised Lamont Roach after reportedly training with him, saying people are too quick to criticize without understanding the work he puts in.
Another big fight. Two great competitors going out there to show the world what they got. Tank has been on a big stage for a while now, but we all have to give somebody else the opportunity. Before I became TBE, somebody had to give me the opportunity. So what Tank is doing is giving another tough competitor an opportunity. He's tough. And when this fight first was made, I didn't know much about this fighter. Then I had a chance to do my homework and look him up. And I faced guys like this before, you know, and this is a guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
Lamont Roach's private workout showed his sharpness, speed, and discipline. His footwork was precise, his combinations were crisp, and his defense was on point. Roach looked locked in, focused, and ready for war. He's training like a champion, proving doubters wrong and showing why he's a real threat in boxing.
No. He almost hit you. Pass me that. Help me. I know what y'all think I'm gonna do. I go that way for a reason. How is she gonna record? How is she record?
Lamont Roach's training footage is looking incredibly sharp. His speed, footwork, and technique are on point, and he is showing impressive improvement. Every punch is crisp, and his movement looks fluid. He has been refining his craft, making sure every aspect of his boxing game is polished and ready for the biggest fight of his career. Lamont Roach has made it clear that this fight will be an upsetting night for Tank Davis fans. He believes that people are underestimating him and that he has the tools necessary to pull off a major upset. Roach is confident in his game plan and knows that he can expose weaknesses in Davis's style.
But came to fight, was a very competitive fight, good fight.
Yeah,
you wore him down, I remember it very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is, you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Renowned boxing analyst Al Bernstein has expressed skepticism regarding Lamont Roach's ability to defeat Tank Davis. Bernstein points out that Roach's past performances lack evidence of the power necessary to overcome a formidable opponent like Davis, who boasts an impressive record and multiple championships. Roach will need to prove that he belongs in the ring with a fighter of Davis's caliber.
Too about the big one coming up in a month. Another guy you called several of his fights, Gervonta Davis, fighting Lamont Roach is a significant favorite. Do you think Roach is being undervalued as an underdog, or it will probably go the way people think it will go?
You know, Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter,
yeah,
but I don't see. He's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not. It's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter. He won a title at a lower weight, and that was a surprise to some people that he did get, even though he was a good prospect. So it's just hard to imagine him beating Davis.
The other Davis is fighting for a world title 2 weeks before in New York against Baranchik.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn Davis. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Yeah, that's a fascinating fight and a really, really good fight. And you know, Davis has looked really good in his recent fights, but this is certainly the best fighter he's fought. Although he has, you know, he just beat a good fighter.
The boxing community has voiced concerns about Davis's selection of Lamont Roach as his next opponent. Critics argue that Davis is avoiding more challenging fights against top-tier contenders like Shakur Stevenson. Some believe that Davis should be taking on fighters with bigger names and more established records instead of facing Roach, who is not yet a household name.
Biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want.
Boxing figures like Claressa Shields and Oscar De La Hoya have weighed in on the Davis-Roach matchup. Shields acknowledges Roach's potential, but emphasizes Davis's proven track record and formidable skills. De La Hoya, on the other hand, believes Roach is being overlooked and could surprise many fans if he comes in with the right strategy.
Garcia beat him, so Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but and I'm happy to see a fighter like Lamont Roach, who's had to come up the blue-collar way, get a big opportunity, get a big payday. But now that I've said that, it's an underwhelming fight, and everybody's saying that because it's true. And this is a fight that would have made more sense for GervontaDavis a couple years ago, back when Gary Russell was rumored as an opponent. And this would be, you know, like a good DMV rivalry, you know, two guys from the DMV area. But in 2024, when Tank's already headlined a lot of pay-per-views, it's underwhelming. And, you know, before the GervontaDavis fans try to come at my throat, I get it. Lomachenko walked away from the table. Of course, that's after, you know, some years earlier of Tank saying he wasn't interested in that fight. Fight was never officially negotiated by Top Rank or PBC, but for years, Gervonta had no real intention of fighting Lomachenko, and now Lomachenko has walked away from the table now that the fight's available. I understand that. I understand Shakur Stevenson really is opting more the Williams Zepeda route. I understand that Teofimo Lopez has only really called Davis out once the Lamont Roach fight was really being talked about around Canelo Berlanga fight week and was close to probably being finalized.
Despite being a world champion, Lamont Roach remains relatively unknown to the broader public. This lack of recognition contributes to the perception that Davis has chosen an easy fight. However, Roach's supporters argue that his underdog status could work to his advantage, as opponents may underestimate his capabilities in the ring. Fighters who go in overlooked often perform their best when they have nothing to lose.
Comes, they're offended by it. They don't have anything good to say about it. So obviously, you know, it does matter. What's up, everybody? It's your man Sean Zattel getting ready. So obviously it does matter. And just like Teofimo, Shakur, Lomachenko, they haven't exactly convinced me or the public that they really want to fight GervontaDavis. I don't think myself or the public are that convinced he really, really wants to fight them. And he has leverage being a draw at the box office that he is. So my challenge to Gervonta in 2025 is make it happen. You bring the money to the table. I know you can't tie someone up and force them to get in the ring with you, but you have the response. With great power comes great responsibility. He's one of the faces of boxing now in 2024, heading into 2025. Make it happen in 2025. Call these guys up if you have to. I guess Spence and Crawford talked on the phone to help make a fight happen. So do what you got to do. You know, throw your weight around. Make one of these guys get in the ring. Call them out because, again, I'm not convinced that I'm not letting off these other guys off the hook. You can't do this whataboutism where you just pick one side or the other. Oh, well, Tank's ducking Shakur, or Shakur's ducking Tank. No, they both got to come together and realistically show the boxing world they want to happen. Because fighters always tell us if two guys want to fight, then the promoters and all that shit can't really get in the way.
People are criticizing Lamont Roach simply because they don't know him or his accomplishments. Unlike Tank Davis, who is a household name with massive exposure, Roach hasn't received the same spotlight. Fans believe in Tank because they've seen his knockouts, his dominance, and his championship wins, while Roach remains underrated. This fight could be Roach's moment to break into the mainstream boxing conversation.
Big hair, don't care. On the way to the gym, and I'm just like totally perplexed. I see a lot of people on Twitter and on the internet talking about disdain when it comes to, you know, the Tank fight with Lamont Roach. I'm like, what's the problem? They act like Lamont Roach has not fought anybody and he isn't anybody. You know, his only loss is against a former world champion in Jamel Herring. His last two fights with McCrory and Hector Luis Garcia, they were fire. This is a legitimate matchup. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody says that Tank needs to fight someone. Now he's fighting someone and people have something to say. Like, what do y'all want? What do y'all want from these guys? These are the matchups we want to see. You know, it's going to be good. I'm not going to say who I'm picking right now because I want to see more, but respect to both guys.
As of now, Lamont Roach is ranked 14th globally and 3rd in the United States in the super featherweight division. He currently holds the WBA title, underscoring his status as a legitimate world champion. Despite this, many fans and analysts don't see him as a true threat to Davis, but his ranking and championship belt prove he deserves this opportunity.
Hey, yo, we're gonna be checking for any suspicious opponents on Lamont Roach record. He's 25-1 with 10 big wins coming by the way of knockout, my people. He's in the super featherweight division. He's ranked number 14 in the world and number 3 in the USA, my people. He has a WBA title right now in the super featherweight division. He's fighting GervontaDavis in December, but you know we gotta check how he even got there and how he started his career. His pro debut, he went against Victor. He was 1-3. That's fine. It's your pro debut. First fight as a professional. You feel me? I ain't gonna get at you. Next person was 1-6. Alright, I mean, we ain't do better, but it's your second fight. Like, fourth person was 0-1. That was a little sussy because he ended up 0-10. He never won a day in his life. So he never got his hand raised in a boxing match. You feel me? And then the next person, he stepped it up though. He went to undefeated. It's only 2 fights, but he was 2-0. Then 12-9, that's a journey, man. I'm not gonna lie. 4-2, 3-4, these are looking good. 8-5, that's a journeyman in the making. He got a winning record.
The upcoming fight between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach has drawn mixed reactions, with some labeling it a cherry pick due to Roach moving up to 130 pounds. Former pro boxer Dawood Bey analyzes the matchup, emphasizing the deep boxing history of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. While some see Roach as an easy fight for Davis, others believe that he has a legitimate chance to make history.
GervontaDavis, Lamont Roach. A lot of people shitting on the fight. A lot of people saying it's a cherry pick. A lot of people saying that, or criticizing Tank for bringing Lamont up to 130. What's your thoughts on the fight?
I think if you understand the history of D.C. and Baltimore, and then I'm familiar with Roach and them camp a little bit because I'm cool with people that's tight with them and stuff like that. So we all kind of encounter each other. I don't live nothing but 2.5 hours away, right? I wouldn't see none of them coming and laying down. And then Tank is Tank. I think you're gonna get a DMV classic. Like, you're going to get a good fight. They're going to fight each other. Lamont going to fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? So for however long it lasts, or for however long the fireworks is, you know what I mean, going off, he going to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to come out there to lay down. So, I don't know. I mean, people going to criticize you no matter what, though, once you get in, like, Tank position. It don't really matter what you do. Like, if you wasn't fighting, like, Shakur or Devin right now, this next fight, it's probably like 3 people he could be fighting and nobody wouldn't have nothing to say. You understand what I'm trying to say? Not to say that some fights can't be like better than others or whatever, but yeah, if he wasn't fighting Devin, Shakur, or like Teofimo, then somebody gonna say like it's a cherry pick or everything. I mean, everybody's a cherry pick. Leave it up to them.
Who wins that fight?
Lamont got to get away from Tank for 36 minutes.
Some believe there's a deeper reason behind GervontaDavis choosing to fight Lamont Roach. According to boxing legend Mike Tyson, Fighters sometimes take certain matchups to help friends financially. This theory suggests Davis might be giving Roach a significant payday and exposure, rather than seeking the toughest challenge. While Roach is a skilled fighter, many argue that Davis had more competitive options, such as Shakur Stevenson. Boxing commentator Showbiz. The adult has suggested that GervontaDavis should consider moving up to the 140-pound weight class to face more formidable opponents. He argues that such a move would lead to more exciting and competitive fights, addressing criticisms that Davis is selecting easier matchups. Many fans want to see Davis test himself against bigger and more dangerous fighters.
I was saying have a fight, yes, but have it at 140. Fighting anyone at 140 would be more exciting than this fight against Lamont Roach. Nothing against Lamont Roach, but I'm telling you, Gervonta Tank Davis fanboys, not the fans, but the fanboys, you're not going to be able to convince people that Lamont Roach is someone to get excited about versus Tank. It's not going to happen. You're going to try to call people casuals or whatever. But really, people who really knows boxing, they know that Gervonta Tank Davis is too much for Lamont Roach, all right? Now, I was saying go up to 140. Fight who, Showbiz? Fight anybody. Just have a fight at 140. And when you see in hindsight that Teofimo Lopez and Devin the American Dream Haney is now negotiating for their fight, you can understand now why I would say something like that. He has a fight at 140, then he takes on the Teofimo Lopez and Devin the American Dream Haney winner.
Tank Davis has tailored his training regimen to align with his natural nocturnal tendencies. Embracing his identity as a night person, Davis initiates his day around 11 a.m., allowing himself ample rest to recover from the previous night's exertions. Upon waking, he prioritizes hydration, consuming a liter of water to rejuvenate his system. A balanced breakfast follows, typically comprising 6 egg whites, oatmeal, bananas, and honey, providing the necessary nutrients to fuel his body. Lamont Roach is entering his fight against GervontaDavis with full confidence, making it clear that he demands to be taken seriously. Moving up in weight, Roach understands the challenge ahead, but remains determined to prove his strength and skill. He has been preparing intensively, focusing on power and strategy to counter Davis's aggressive style. Roach believes his boxing ability and precision will be key to shocking the world. Floyd Schofield Jr., a rising lightweight contender, has expressed his belief that Lamont Roach is undersized for his upcoming bout against Tank Davis. Schofield Jr. stated, "I should have got the fight before Lamont Roach, but that is my opinion."
5 has so many people. Just on an ending note, I just want to get your perspective on Tank's fight against Lamont Roach. People are counting out Lamont as well, but how do you see it?
Tank by knockout. Hopefully Lamont can prove me wrong, though. I like Lamont, but I'm just going off of my opinion.
Why?
He's Tank, man. I mean, I feel like Lamont's too small. I mean, they're both smaller fighters, but I feel like Lamont's just way too small for Tank. But like I said, hopefully Lamont can prove me wrong. He's a great fighter, too. But I just got Tank as a favorite.
How do you see that happening in the fight? Do you think it comes early? Do you think it comes late?
You never know with Tank. You never know. It's all on when he wants to do it. But me personally, I feel like he's going to come late. Probably like 9.
Now, transitioning back to your fight, I asked that question for a reason, because do you feel that you can get a knockout in this fight against Shakur given his style? And if so, when in the fight do you feel we see it?
I feel like it would be late. But I feel like I can anybody can knock anyone out. The right punch, I mean, anybody. I mean, you could probably knock me out if you hit me correctly. Nah, that's a lie. But but not anybody.
Oh, man, that's 2 disses today. First, I'm an old guy, now I got pillow hands.
No, but truthfully, like, anyone can get knocked out. Anybody. So, never know. I hope Shakur's ready.
All right. Floyd, man, good chatting with you. Good seeing you. Appreciate the time. Floyd Schofield taking on Shakur Stevenson this weekend here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the DAZN pay-per-view headline by Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, the rematch.
Teofimo Lopez, the WBO super lightweight champion and a fellow rising star in boxing, has shared his thoughts on the fight. While he acknowledges Roach's talent, he believes that Davis is simply too strong and too experienced at this weight class. Some fans believe that this fight is just a stay-busy bout for Tank Davis. Reports suggest that Davis wanted to fight, but most of the big names in his division had already scheduled their fights. With no top-tier opponents available, Davis chose to face Roach to remain active and keep his name relevant in the boxing world.
All the history, you gotta love it. What do you think about Tank versus obviously?
Oh, Roach?
Yeah, Roach.
Well, they've known each other for so long now. You know, they grew up nearby in DC, and I think overall, I think it's gonna be a good fight for as long as Tank wants it to be. Yeah.
You mean like he get him out of there anytime?
I think he will. I think Roach. They know each other very well. They know what type of styles they like to put on. I mean, they used to fight a lot in the amateurs, probably sparred too. So, I think that it'll just go to show. But remember, everybody got to realize Lamont Roach is going up to 135. He's going up a weight class.
Right.
And I think that's what makes me think that Tank should wipe him out.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.